back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So there'd be a few fucking sore heads at the moment, wouldn't there? A few of you feeling a little bit rough, are ya? You were feeling pretty good last night. It's obviously a 2-day bender, Friday, Saturday, into Sunday as well. It should really be into Sunday. And then on Monday, you recover. Tuesday, you start thinking about your life. Give yourself a little bit of a break, because I know you're not feeling good now. Right now, you don't know whether you're hungover, you've got COVID, or you're about to have a heart attack from the vaccine. You don't know what the fuck's going on. Don't even think about it. Just lay your head on your pillow, shut the fuck up, and forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for your sins. That's the main thing you need to do to move forward, is forgive yourself for your sins. You're only human. And there's probably a few of you that are here for the first time, your New Year's resolution. I have to do this every year. Don't come at me today with your optimism and your fucking New Year's resolution. Wait a couple of days. Let it sink in. Recover from your hangover first. Get through that hangxiety. Let the self-loathing subside, and then start your year. You're probably not going to be able to start your year till about the 4th or 5th now. But who cares? It's a long year. Don't worry about it. You've got plenty of days left. What you don't want to do is, though, put shit off for like maybe 2 weeks, because the thing is, you fucking go 2 weeks, that puts you mid-Jan, and then you're into February in 2 weeks from mid-Jan, and then February's a short month. February's like however many days, 28 days, so that's only another 4 weeks. It's fucking from here, it's basically a couple of days till March. That's how quickly it fucking moves now. So give yourself the 4 days, and then start fucking working on yourself, working on your life. I'm talking to new listeners and old listeners here. You're all fucking messes. I am too. We're all messes. And if you don't think you're a mess, you're the biggest mess. You just can't see it. Everyone else can see it. But today, don't worry about it. It's not your day to take on the world today. Today is a day to recover. Just keep your head on the pillow, put on a fucking rom-com. Don't do anything challenging at all. Just burn today. Today's over. You're done. Just take that little bit of advice. Anyway, I want to clarify something I said yesterday. Now, someone wrote in to me basically accusing me of hitting a kid. Hitting fucking you, Adrian. I think I said I shoved him or something. And the person who wrote in basically called me a fucking child abuser or some shit like that, saying it was real fucked up. Now, for one, I didn't shove him. I sort of like just moved him along. I wouldn't call it a shove. A shove is like, I don't know, something you would do to a woman if you're in an argument and you don't want to hit them. Like, you just give them a little bit of a shove, a little bit of a show of power. And I didn't do that. I didn't go to that extent, because a woman and a child are very different things. I'm looking forward to the email on this one. No, I didn't even shove him. I gave him a move along. I put my hand on his back, gently, because I love children. All children are God's blessings. I put my hand on this little cunt's back, and I just moved him along. Like, he resisted a little bit, but I had my hand on his back, and I just moved him along. There was no full shove or anything like that. Not that I am against shoving other people's kids either. Depending on what they did, I suppose. Like, if someone shoved my kid, I would start swinging straight away. It'd give me a good excuse to start swinging. I'll tell you a story. When I was a kid, one of my dad's mates, a Maori dude, a Kiwi Maori guy, slapped the shit out of me. And to be honest with you, he had good fucking reason. So I would have been like maybe 6. And my mum and dad's friends, Neville and Wendy, that's what their names were. Neville was a Maori dude, Wendy was an Australian chick. They were like family friends, and they had 2 daughters. Their names don't need to be revealed. So I was about 6, I was the oldest one, and Neville and Wendy had 2 daughters, and they were in between my brothers. So I was the oldest, then there was a daughter who was 1 year younger than me, then it was my brother, and then it was the other daughter. And so, you know what kids are like. Kids play doctors and nurses and shit, which basically was, you show me your thing and I'll show you my thing. That was our little game. I'll be the doctor, you be the nurse. Give me a look at your wee-wee thing and I'll show you my wee-wee. That's what it was. That was our game. I'm sure heaps of you played that game over the years. Just investigating. I wanted to be a doctor from the age of 6. So we used to play that game all the time. It was mainly, you show me your thing and I won't show you anything. I'll just look at your thing. That's what our game was. It was more me being the doctor. But we're 6. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm still singing like Beauty and the Beast and shit. I'm singing Under the Sea, under the sea. You know, like I'm just a fucking kid. But I'm a curious, caring, potential doctor. So one day we go over to Neville and Wendy's house and me and the daughter are in the bedroom just playing some games, and then we start playing doctors and nurses again. Well, doctor and patient, we became pretty good at this game. It was more than just like observation. It was like the full checkup. It was a full investigation. So we're there and I'm in the middle of the weekly checkup and her dad comes into the room and sees what's going on and isn't happy, obviously. And then I suppose the Maori rage came out of him and he just started slapping the shit out of me. And fair enough, I was not a licensed doctor. I hadn't been to medical school. To be honest with you, at the age of 6, I didn't really know anything about medicine at all. So I think looking back on it, I kind of deserved the slapping. And did it scar me? No, it didn't scar me. I can look back on it now in retrospect and realize it was fair enough. It was definitely fair enough. I think my dad had to come in and stop the hiding. And I spoke to my dad years later and he was like, I was unsure whether I should fuck him up, but like, you were like pretending to be a doctor. And I thought, well, if I was in the same position, I'd probably slap the fuck out of you as well. And that's fair enough. I deserved the slapping because there's levels. And this little new Adrian yesterday deserved a little fucking hurry up along. It wasn't a shove. It was just a hand on the back and move away from the fucking tree. Look, I've never even hit my kid yet. And I'm not against that either. But you can't just be dishing out beatings. You've got to have that in your back pocket. I've never needed to use it. You shouldn't hit your kid. You shouldn't hit your kid unless it's absolutely 100% necessary. And it's very rarely 100% necessary. There's ways around it. You can use psychological warfare. You can use fear. You can use respect. That kind of works sometimes. There's much better things you can do than hit your kids to get them to fucking fall into line. But you also don't want them to think you would absolutely never ever fucking do it either. You don't want them to think that. I remember hearing, I forget fucking who it was, but I remember hearing someone tell this story. He was saying when he was like 16, he came into his house and he started mouthing off to his dad. His dad was like an Italian fucking heavy dude and ended up calling his dad a fucking cunt or something like that. And his dad just fucking stood there, wound back and just smashed him directly in the face and was like, if you want to talk like a man, you're going to get hit like a fucking man. Now, what would you like to say? And the guy was like, that's all I needed to say. I didn't need to say anything after that. I understood. That's all it fucking took. He's like, after that, me and dad had a pretty good understanding of each other. And that's fine. He got hit once in his life by his dad and he deserved it. That's all he needed. Some of the initiation rituals of fucking indigenous tribes, like especially the Australian ones, they sound fucking insane. The initiation rituals of going from a boy to a man. In Aboriginal culture, they take a boy and they beat him within an inch of his life. And then once he survives it, he becomes a man. But if you're one of those low-life cunts that fucking gets drunk and beats on their kids, you can kill yourself. That's fine. That's not disciplining your kids. That's taking out your frustration on them. That's a whole different thing. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is What am I trying to say again? Fuck new Adrian. And sometimes kids need to get taught a lesson. That's all there is to it. And that's Boyle signing off with a little bit of wisdom for you. That'll do for tonight. If you're enjoying the podcast, I've probably lost at least one listener tonight. But if you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around. And I'll see you the fuck later.